Hello team, welcome back to Maratha Transport Fever 2. As always, thank you very much for joining me. I really sincerely hope that you do like the video, and if you do, click that like. And if you are liking, please consider subscribing. And if you're currently a subscriber, please consider membership. You can always drop a super thanks if you like, and feel free to check out my Patreon and my merch store. But what have we been doing? Gosh, it's 2018. 2018. Sometimes this game just soaks up time, and it has soaked up quite a bit of my time, and there is still more to do. What have we been doing? What have we been doing? What have we been doing? Well, let's turn some of our HUDs on and have a think about what we have been doing. Well, one of the first things that I said I was going to do was extended my bus lines. So I added in some more bus lines and I changed some things, and I will have to tell you that I have not even in the slightest balanced my bus lines out. They are well overdue for a balance, which is great because we have this fancy dancy electric bus. So we need to start thinking about emissions. We have an awful lot of things going on the roads that we're going to have a look at, and we have these electric buses, 81,640 a year to maintain. I have been using these things, which is 64, so it's only a third more. So that's not a huge amount of difference. So if we were to have a look at Quezon City, which doesn't have a massive bus network, but the Quezon bus, we are currently operating. We're operating 3 of those buses. Let's have a look at how profitable they are. Not very profitable, that one. Not very profitable, that one. And not very profitable, that one. Why am I even running buses? You might even say to yourself. And this is some of the things that happen in the game as the game progresses. You will also see here we don't have a commuter train, and we only have one cargo train coming to Quezon. Why is that the case? Well, people don't want to travel by train anymore. People want to travel by road. People have private cars. Some of these private cars are quite old. It looks like everyone's living in the 1980s. Yeah, 1970s and 80s. Do we have any modern cars at all? That might pass as a relatively modern car. None of these do. These are all. It's like rural New Zealand here. What's happening? Sorry. Yeah. You see. So they want to travel by car. So that's their move mode is car. That's where they're going. It's how they want to get there. The commuting bus, the Quezon Krasnoyarsk bus. That's different. That will make me money, and that's fine. So maybe Quezon's only going to get one bus. Maybe we just, because I kind of also feel like you have to really. You don't have to, I guess, I suppose. But I kind of feel like I have to. So we're just going to give them one fancy dancy electric bus, and we'll let them do their own thing, which is fine. So we extended the passenger networks out, but people don't want to travel by bus. This is where everywhere is serviced by this bus stop. So there's lots of people here. These are all various commercial places and various other bits and pieces. We've got at least one person waiting here. These are all the places serviced by these bus stops. They service quite a substantial amount of the city. You would be surprised. People will walk several blocks to get to a bus stop, which is quite surprising to me. It's not at all a reflection of real life. Anyway, we've got good coverage. People just don't want to use the bus. That's fine. It's their choice. I don't like using the bus. I would prefer to drive by my car too. So that is, what is that? The Quezon Krasnoyarsk commuter bus. That looks pretty busy. What type of buses have we got for this one? Yeah, okay. Not a lot different to choose from here because the issue is one of speed, and I've said this before. So it seems to be that one of the deciding factors for people wanting to move from place to place is the speed and frequency, i.e., how long they have to sit around and wait for, which is kind of like real life, right? You want to get to where you want to get to when you want to get there relatively quickly. You don't want to be standing around a bus stop for 3 months. So there's the blue one or the green one, the Mazda or the Volvo. Honestly, the Volvo's a little cheaper. It's only 2 less passengers. It's a little slower to load, but it goes at the same speed. And unless you've got somewhere pressing to be, I'm quite happy using the Volvo chassis myself. So that's what I have been using. Pardon me, nearly dying there. Right. So what else did we do, and what else have we been up to? Well, I redid this, didn't I? I did say I was going to. I had a look at it, and I thought at the time, shortly after I built it, I was like, why didn't you just put the road on the other side? And then you could run the train down here, and then you could connect the train up, and then you could have the port, and then you could have the train station directly connected to the port, and you could have a bus stop, and the bus stop services the train station and the port. What an idea! So I did that. And I changed this. They're still building in my roundabout, and for heaven's sake, I can't stop them. Oh, I changed this, but I accidentally, looks like I've changed it to a bi-directional roundabout, which is fun. You don't see many of them these days. So yeah, so you guys go that way around, please. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, it creates a bit of congestion. This is now, if you have had the chance, hopefully you'll have seen my video on Transport Fever 3 coming out, and I'll click a link to that below. I hope we can fix some of these problems in Transport Fever 3, because the issue is that if I make this a wider roundabout, which I'm going to have to, and I'm going to have to make it a wider roundabout so that people don't end up messing up my traffic, because if they mess up my traffic, they mess up my production, and if they mess up my production, it messes up everything, including my money at the bottom. So you need to make it this 3-lane roundabout at least, which is fine. I mean, technically speaking, it should probably even be more than that, but you've got 2 coming in, and you've probably got 1 person going around, so that makes it 3. So the math seems to stack up, and eventually they'll sort themselves out and work themselves around about the place. But then they want to build in the roundabout, so I can't do anything about that. We just need to hopefully transport. Look, there's another one built in the roundabout. Stop it! Stop building in the roundabout. You can't build in a roundabout. What is wrong with you people? This is not even the right road in the first place, is it? This is. It'll get rid of the houses, and then the houses will soon be back. Just stop building in my roundabouts. So yeah, so I redid all that, and then I did the rest of the bus stops, and you can see that there's people waiting in various bus stops for various things, but the bus stops seem to have calmed down a little bit. We have some of the cross-country bus stops requiring a little bit more attention, which is fine. We've sorted out Nagoya. Nagoya is now getting quite a bit of machines, some food, some fuel, some yada yada. So I went through and I balanced that out, and I balanced out a lot of things, and a lot of things are now very firmly balanced, at least so I would believe. If we have a look at our towns, we can see that we have KL is over 1,000. It's our largest. It's getting a slice of everything, not everything, and we have some issues with poor emission quality, but the growth is still 300%. Daegu is fine, but obviously no goods. So anywhere with goods, we still haven't sorted that out yet, because I've spent all of my time trying to make sure that we don't go bankrupt. And now we've got $500 million in the bank. We probably won't, but you can lose money very quickly at this stage of the game. You can indeed. You need to be careful. Do not rest on your laurels. Bangkok is looking pretty good. It's really picked up, actually. Krasno could be doing better, honestly, for some strange reason. It's not really growing nearly as quickly as I would like, probably to do with the fact that it doesn't have goods, but so does Bangkok, so I don't know. We'll see. Much of a muchness on that one. Nagoya is finally picking up. Dubai dropped off. In part, I think Dubai dropped off because I had to do quite a lot of modification of the road network, so I bumped off quite a lot of residences and commercial places, but it should really be coming back. It is getting a slice of everything. It may be it. I don't know. Is it the limitations of the actual? Who would build there? How far are they going to build along this bridge? Um, yeah, I mean, you can see that I had to add in a lot of wide roads and various other bits and pieces. And I'd have to say, I do feel that the roads and the buildings are not commensurate in size. So this is supposed to be one lane wide here, and I can tell by looking at it that one lane is probably at least one story, which seems somewhat excessive in terms of lane size. And when you add that up to the roads, these roads are massively, massively wide. They really are. They really are massively wide. Look at this. Look at the size of this thing. And if we find like a large road, this is a large road, 6 lanes. Look at it. It's absolutely enormous by comparison. By comparison, look at the size of the buildings, and look at the width of the road. So you do take up an awful lot of real estate when you put very big roads. But the problem is that you have to put roads in. We have now got lots of transport and product traveling by road. Now, the problem is as well, you have the product traveling by road, which holds up the traffic or gets held up by traffic. And you also have somewhere floating around the place over here, you have buses, the good old mobile chicane or mobile roadblock, depending on how you want to look at it. And traffic can build up behind these if there's nowhere for trucks like this one or cars to overtake or pass. They will not overtake against the flow of traffic, so they will only change lanes. So if you have a busy city and you have lots of cargo and lots of buses and lots of things happening there, you do need to be aware that you do need big roads, and big roads eat up an awful lot of real estate. So Dubai, for some reason, seems to have become somewhat constrained and confined by the things around it. So it's not really progressing quite as much as I would like, or I thought that it would, given the fact that we are doing pretty good with food, pretty good with bricks, pretty good with machines, and we're filling all of its tools needs. So maybe if we gave it a little bit more food and gave it a little bit more bricks, it would be good. I think we're doing okay here in terms of that. This seems to be sort of hanging in there. I think we've got a train just arriving to drop off. So yeah, so we're doing okay with this one. It's doing fine. Maybe if we gave them just a little bit more, it would tip them over. Sometimes that's all it takes. It just takes. There was a big dip there. That's when the roads. So it's dropped down, and it hasn't quite recovered yet. But it's working on it. Is poor old Dubai. So sorry about that, Dubai. It's the things that happen. Yekaterinburg is really probably it's down because I haven't really connected it to anywhere else. There's not really anywhere else to connect it to be fair. I mean, I think, do we have, what kind of road networks have we got? Bus network? I don't think we have in here. We don't have a connection to any of the other places, which is surprising. I think we must have one to Dubai. No, we don't have anyone to Dubai. We don't even have a bus network to Dubai. Okay, we probably need to sort that out because they probably want to go to Bangkok. They probably want to go to Dubai, and maybe eventually they'll want to go to Jakarta. Um, but that's probably the main thing. And KL, of course, because it's it's the largest city on the map currently to date. So that's the situation with that. And then we have Jakarta, and then we have Quezon, surprisingly enough, and then we have Faisalabad. Quezon's getting everything it needs, really. It's just, I don't know, it's just slow growing, I suppose. It's getting all the bricks it needs. It's getting all the food that it needs. It's getting all the fuel it needs. It's product. It's commercial goods. Poor Faisalabad isn't getting anything just yet. It's still on my list of things to do, but there are so many other things on my list of things to do. We have also been, pardon me, if we go to the top here, we have also been trying to stay on top of this whole problem in terms of who's good, who's bad, who's left, right, and center. This has literally just cropped up because this was all good stuff. Uh, in terms of what trains we've got on the go at the minute, I was using the Russian class or the China class previously. That has now gone. We have now transitioned beyond the age of steam. We are now in the age of diesel and electric. So the issue we have here is one of cost. These things cost an awful lot of money. If we have a look at this train, the running cost for this train was 1.37 million. That's the entire train. The running cost was 1.37 million. Um, this electric, the cost for that is 3.3 million a year alone. So the issue we have is what are we going to use to power these things um, now that we've lost those cheap options? This seems to be the cheapest option. This China Railway, but it only does 80, so that's kind of it's a step down because we were doing 110 with the China class. So yeah, we could do that. Might be fine for short distance trains, I suppose, for things that we can feel a little bit sure of. Otherwise, you've got some seriously expensive things. So otherwise, I've been using this one, the China Railways DF4B diesel. It's pretty grunty. It seems to be able to pull things pretty quickly, and it's certainly something that we can use to move things along uh, as it were. So there's a few trains there that have come up that all need to be replaced. They're the old steel trains that need to be replaced. We've got some cargo boats that are due. We've got some other trains that are due. You can see we're working out the last of the steam trains, and then I think we're probably getting down. Here is where we start getting into electric trains. Not electric trains, sorry, diesel trains. Somewhere down near the bottom. Is that a diesel train there? No, it's still lit. Wow, okay. We've come a long way. You got to go a long way. Here we are. This is where we start getting into the diesel trains. So yeah, so we have been working our way through some of these, but sort of replacing them as and when, as opposed to making any concerted efforts. There's also balancing out some critical lines that has caused us to change a couple of bits and pieces here and there. In terms of the trucks that we have available to ourselves now, we do have a very nice supply of trucks at the bottom. So what I've done is there was an awful lot of trains that we had that were not really not really moving a lot, you know, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even 90s, you know, things like that. If there's and if it's not very far, and if it's not very far and you're moving, you know, less than 100 at a time, then it's just cheaper to use these trucks. Like I said, you know, you look at the cost of those trains, you know, 1 million, 3 million a year, and you could throw a whole bunch of these trucks at it. Ain't gonna cost you that, right? And you don't suffer the same penalty for rail costs and everything else. So I've been working my way through. I haven't replaced them all at once. Once again, the issue really is in terms of replacement money. You know, you replace it. Well, I'm keeping track. You know, you replace them all at once. What happens is 20 years down the line, you suddenly have, you know, 50, 60, 70 bad trucks that you need to sort out. And I don't want to have to go through that if I can at all help it, frankly. So there you go. So that's what we have been up to. That's what we have been doing. We've been mucking around with things. We've been moving some freight off rail onto road. Rail is now getting to the stage where it's expensive. We need to find economies of scale in rail if we have it. We've moved an awful lot of the brick stuff onto the road, so you can see we're accumulating an awful lot of bricks and various other bits and pieces. The commuter trains, really have stopped becoming very profitable. There's only maybe one or two commuter train services that are still running. Most of the rest of it is being handled by the road networks, which is perfectly fine. There's room to maybe say now, well, hang on a minute. Could we make this a high speed line? Could we now convince people to get off the road and get onto the rail with high speed trains? Right? That might be the way to go. We do have a few high speed trains now. If we go and have a look at what's at the very bottom of this list, we have some seriously high-speed trains. There's 300, there's 160, there's 130 there. And as I think you know or remember, so this track here is 120. So anything above 120 would have to go high speed. So we'd have to go high speed tracks. So we need to pay for those upgrades. But basically, this one here is not really high speed. I mean, it looks kind of swish, but that's probably just going to be an expensive version of something else. But we wanted to go like 130 or more, like this one, 2.149 million a year. We'd have to find 3.5, 12 million a year. I honestly don't see how you would do that. It's worth trying, maybe, but we'd have to think about it differently. This would have to be a high speed connection where we'd have to make consecutive money. So I'd say you'd have to run Quezon, Krasno. Daegu seems to be a popular place. But then you'd have to go KL. You definitely have to whiz out to KL. It is the biggest place. You could, in theory, then, I guess, come back again and do it all again. There's some areas you need to figure that out. You could do this high speed up to Daegu, no problem. You have this. This is sort of this line here is taken up with an awful lot of cargo, and it's a busy cargo interface down here. You might have to run a completely parallel high speed line on that system, and you could do it. You'd have to cross them over at some point. I mean, you can see that this station, these people, they're desperate to get to Krasno for some strange reason. So you've got this Krasno Kuala Lumpur commuter, and it is fully loaded, and people are desperate to get on it. We should probably increase that, and we'll increase that to the faster moving one. And they're currently with 66 capacity, which is this one. We've got a 23 capacity. I don't know. Let's add another one on, and we'll move faster, and we'll see what that does as we move things along. Some of the other things I've done, obviously, as you replace older steam trains with diesel trains, you will find that you have to perhaps delete a train because you're just moving things around an awful lot quicker than you previously were. I haven't done anything with this logs over here. I haven't really done anything. Oh, I did over here. I replaced this with hovercraft. Oh look, little dolphins are. Oh, you just run over some dolphins. Are they dolphins or very big fish? They're very big fish. So yeah, I replaced the boat that we had there with hovercraft. There seems to be a fair people waiting on the old Faisalabad bus. Maybe we could replace it with one of these. There you go. So yeah, there you go. 27 people fit on that bus. Wait, toodaloo. So that bus goes off, which is great. I don't know. Are they all going into wait? It looks like they are. They're just moving very very slowly. Yeah. So I replaced it with these things. They're an awful lot quicker. They're a heck of a lot faster. Still not an awful lot of people. They have 5. What's that one? 3. Let's just make them disappear. Pardon me. and a 13. That probably seems a little bit more like it. Yeah, so that's really essentially it, and I haven't done anything with Faisalabad, although I do promise that it is on my list of things to do. One of the things that's on my list of things to do, and that is what we're going to have a look at probably for the rest and the last bit of this episode, because there's probably not going to be awful lot of episode left, is we're going to connect Jakarta via rail, and we're going to see what we can do about hooking it up for machines and bread. Bricks, I think I can do by road. We don't have goods yet, but machines is over here, and they're going to want a lot of it. And it turns out there's a rail line kind of snaking its way down the coast, and bread is down here, and there's a line kind of heading up this way. So what I think we'll do is we'll probably connect the trains up somewhere somehow uh, on I would like to say on this side of the map. And what I would like to do is I would like to run the rail um, over here, and I've created a spot for a station over here so it can loop in and can join us on that side, which I think will make an awful lot more sense. And I'll probably have to tidy this causeway up a bit. Um, we'll see what happens with where the rail comes in and various other bits and pieces. I don't want to destroy the network of the city too badly, so I do think this is good. But I think we could probably get rid of this strange island inhabitation thing. They got the pub. Is that the pub? It's a residential building. Oh, okay, never mind. Pardon me. Um, I'll probably just do this all elevated. So I'll probably do this all elevated, which means if it's coming over elevated, that might be an option to run the trains together. So we'll run one train around the coast, we'll connect up here, and we'll flip through. Anyway, let's get Jakarta connected, eh? Bad flipping time. Right, well, hello, welcome back. So there you are. So we've joined up Jakarta. I opted for this design of bridge through here. This suspension bridge, this V-shaped suspension bridge. I think it works out all right. It doesn't work out too bad. It doesn't work out too bad. Yeah, it looks okay. Looks okay, and nice sweeping curves, etc., etc. And then that connects up to the two rails, the way the rails have to go, and then we run the rails down the coastline, and they go off and they connect off down there towards Krasno area, and they head off and connect up there towards Dubai Katerinburg area. And the road, like I said, just ran it as an elevation. It went in a bit. Looks a bit. No, it looks okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, we'll see. The cars are starting to come through. It doesn't look okay. That doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. Sorry. Okay, so there you go, and that connects up the road, and that connects all that up. So, right, what do we need to do? We need to give people stuff. That's what we need to do. And I haven't done a passenger on this yet. We can always modify it if we need to. Let's just see how things go because there is an opportunity here for maybe a high-speed link towards Yekaterinburg, but like I said, I really don't feel like coming down this way. I'm already concerned. So obviously, one of the things they need here is machines. So one of the things we're going to set up first for the link is we're going to go over here and we're going to pull machines out of this already fairly congested station, and we're going to put it over there, and we're going to say you are definitely only going to be loading machines, which is fine, and this then becomes Yekaterinburg to where are we? Jakarta. Uh, Jakarta machines. There you go. So I've named that Yekaterinburg to Jakarta Machine. We're not done. I'm just having a look here. There's only 4 platforms, and out of these 4 platforms, we are getting 6 currently. No one's using 2. So no one's currently using 2, and everything is working fine. 2 is this one in the middle. So that would bring us down this side, past the coal, and this would bring us out. So we could use 2. So Yekaterinburg, Jakarta, currently it has it at 4. But I think we can move it to 2. And then it would come down the outside. Now, then it doesn't. Then it needs to. And it would need to pass through there as well, because this outside track is reserved. So if you were coming through from 2, where would you be going? You could come through here. You would then be. Is that rail has got to be connected, hasn't it? I mean, it's got to be a connected rail. Is there a train running through there? Is there any train running through here? He doesn't run through there. Let me just confirm by actually connecting that is a connected rail. I don't know why that was. Sometimes you get these little graphical aberrations. Doesn't want to connect to whatever that is. It's not recognizing that as a node, you see. That's interesting. An interesting little aberration. Right, there you go. Remember to put the signal back in. So if he came down coming down this side, I need to get them on that inside track at some point around here, so they could pass through and then follow this line, or just take them straight through the station. This is a busy platform is my only concern. It's not going to be a frequent train though. That's the thing. So maybe I tell you what, let's just rejigger this a little bit. So let's not have it congest with that, and instead what we'll do is we'll have it congest through the through the station instead. So let's bring it out here. We'll run it sideways along the old track of Meduski. Oh man, you know what they need to fix for I mean, you saw me having troubles. What they need to fix for Transport Fever 3 is this flippin' node snapping. I mean, get it together, man. It's so infuriating. You think you've got this. There's 2 nodes. The problem is there's a node there, and then there's a node immediately behind it. Oh, it's not going to show you on this one because this one's sitting in a train. But there's a node, and then there's another node. You see it? 3 nodes. In fact, it just keeps picking nodes right at the end. I'll pick its nodes. I tell you. I tell you. Garlic and bread. Right. Right, lad. Okay, let's put some signals in while we remember. Comment on that one. May as well try and line some of these up a little bit. Right, we're gonna need a lane switcheroo here. We're gonna want the outside one first. Inside one second. Usually seems to work all right. Ah, you Burke. Oh, honestly, you know I do this perfectly when you're not watching. It's because you're watching. Could you look away for a minute and then I'll just get this sorted? Because look, it's just seriously, seriously, you people, just these nodes. Right, boom. Don't you come that with me, lad. Right, so I've got to go around this way. Right, there you go. So that means platform 2. We'll come around here. We'll come through here. The coal is kind of busy, but so it's got to get through this busy section. I don't know how many trains we're running, but it's a long track. So you know, so we're going to have that to contend with. What we will do is let's make sure we got some goods stacking up. So where do they? They want it in a bunch of places. Right, okay, that's fine. So where does the station serve? Not very far. So the station serves out to this kind of line here, in line with that kind of like last pink building. And we need a lot more. We probably need at least 2. Um, that one serves quite a lot. If we move it over there, that's nearly everything. And what happens if we put it up on the main street? Oh, look at that now. If we put that up on the main street, which is not, or there, which is just off the main street, although that's just on the actual street that comes in, that might be the ticket. They'd have to, let's put it on that side. Now it's going to replace existing. So we put it on this side, they'll have to loopy loop around. So we'll put a cargo stop there, and we'll put a cargo station right here, because why not? It's next to the train station. So what we have to do then is we have to add in a line, and that is going to be from there to there, and that is again only going to be picking up machines. And that is going to be the, and I know you can't see my keyboard, so I'm just saying this is the Jakarta machines trucks. Okay, so that's fine. And let's have a look. How much are we going to need? Sorry, to start with, they're going to want 155. 155. It's not a great area, so we're going to want, it's not a long distance is what I meant. There's nothing wrong with the area. 155. Let's have a look. I think this might be too big. This is how many? 16. Might be too small. 25. I reckon 5 would be enough. Let's start with 3 until we get things rolling. And the reason that we start with 3 is because it creates some automatic demand, right? I could just do it with 1, to be honest, but where are we? Jakarta machines trucks. But this creates the demand, so we'll let those move out. That tells the computer. Computer. That tells the computer that there is a demand. So now we need to add a train. 155, we said. So it's going to need to be of a reasonable size. Is that you? That's you. So of a reasonable size train, and it's going to take a while for things to kick in. So we're going to have to go with our cheapest option, which is this thing, which is the diesel, which is okay. I mean, 120. There's lots of long straights, and we want machines, which is these are very expensive. Which is what's our cheapest machines? This thing. Let's start with 90. And we're going to stick that on the Yekaterinburg Jakarta machines line. And we're going to let that out to play. Thank you, with its funky dunky horn. And away you go, I don't need you anymore. Right, so he's heading off up there. So the proof of the pudding is there anything right there? It is. There's stuff arriving on platform 2 already. So we've got 2 kicking off. So they're kicking off with 2, and that's fine. It'll take a while for it to pick up. Don't forget, while it's producing all this stuff, it still has to supply these other. Looks like Nagoya needs more machines, which is fine. So this is going to rock its way in here. Can we find it? That's it there. So that's going to rock its way in. Let's get away from the sound, but we'll see how it goes in terms of... Look how busy it is over there. Yeah, we're stuck waiting here. I thought we would run into trouble with this. Just cross over tracks? I don't know. It's gonna head on down. We're gonna pick up... Oh, we got a few things down there. Let's see how much it says at the bottom out of 90. 25. Okay. 25. Right, it's going to pass through, but there's a train. That's okay. No hold up because it passes through on that side. That's good. We are on the correct track. Just checking. So we're going to pass through here as well. We're just going to have to wait for this train to move out of the way. Head on around the corner. Right, and there we go. And the rest of it is just enjoying the ride. So we'll probably wrap it up there while we're enjoying this little ride. Thank you for joining me. There's a few more things to do, which is me going through and setting up some more of these routes to Jakarta, so Jakarta can sort of get some of this stuff coming through and start supplying some of these needs, and we can start growing the city of Jakarta. See our trucks over there. See, we're going to drop off our goods, and some of our goods maybe are going to make it in there. Some. So some goods have made it in there, which is grand, because that means that some people are going to get their product, which is super duper. The food is pretty simple. It's the same. It's just down here. Down here. So it's just running a line up here and pretty much doing exactly the same thing. Bricks, I think I'm going to do trucks. I don't think there's going to be enough need for train for that. And goods we haven't really got anywhere. So I'll just wrap those up and then I'll whiz around the map and I'll do a little bit of rebalancing. You can see that we saw that Nagoya machines, we want to shift some more machines, and we want to change some buses and switch up some buses and change some various other bits and pieces that we need to change. All of these things that we need to do. And then when we come back, there's 2 things that I want to do. The first of the things that I want to do is have a look at the plastic plant right here, which will probably help make Quezon a little bit more of a res des, or a des res. So we're going to have to get the plastic up there. We've got this additional oil that we can supply in here, and then we can supply this plastic place, and then once we've got the plastic place, we can look to supply the goods place down here. Um, how we do that, with this steel, we did have another ore place out here. It has since closed down. Oh no, we got ore here. So we've got possibly another complete um, production chain to build in and around the Quezon area. So wrapping up Jakarta, then building that production chain. Then I would really, really, really like to have a conversation about what the heck we're going to be doing with Faisalabad. Um, I had a couple of thoughts on how we could do it with a port over here connecting to a train line that might connect up to KL, and maybe people would get on the boat and get over there. Maybe we might be able to ship some cargo because we could create a cargo port connection over here. We've got the fuel here. We could make this, as I've said, a bigger cargo area, and we can cargo across fuel. We don't have any way to get food to them currently. It's quite long distance, so I don't know if we can transport food over from Krasnoyarsk way and set up a little place over here to kind of like store things. So we might have a port here and the port over there, bearing in mind that they're ultimately going to want probably other things. So yeah, that's my thought. We might have to see if we can make that work. Anyway, I have chinwagged on more than I initially intended. Please do drop a like if you have liked the channel. If you really feel like it, please chuck in a super thanks. It would really help me out quite a lot. It does take an awful lot of my time and effort and various other bits and pieces, and I do have to buy upgraded computers and controllers, and I spend a lot of time on the old computery Bob, making sure all this stuff is edited and sorted out and as nice as it can be from my perspective. So anything that you can do to show thanks for that would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. Channel memberships are open. Feel free to have a look at the different tiers. Feel free to jump in and have a look. There are some videos already in the membership section and some things that I am offering to members, which you can go and check out, such as access to my Nitrado Daisy server, for example. And of course, there is the Patreon if you don't like YouTube and you just want to do something else. At this stage, Patreon's very basic. It's really just an alternative way of supporting my channel. And of course, I have the merchandise store. There are quite a few things in there. I have plans to add more. But again, it does take time. I have to go through and design and approve and upload and price and do all the things that I need to do on that as well. But do feel free to have a look. Maybe just grab a mug or something so you can sit and sip your cup of tea or drink your wine from your mug, which has my notable face on it or a couple of other pirate themed things, if you don't want my lovely mug on your mug. And thank you very much. I will see you all again real soon. Ta-ta for now.